Hey guys, I'm Ryan Engler alongside Jake Massbaum and Sam Alanikoff. We're here in the Slope Studios. This past weekend, Cornell playing 2 games Friday night, losing to Harvard by 13, and was a game that really wasn't one of Cornell's best efforts this season. Saturday night, however, coming back and really just throttling Dartmouth in an excellent offensive performance, really just outstanding play. So kind of a Jekyll and Hyde weekend for the Big Red, which makes it a little bit more uncertain, what we can possibly expect going forward to this week. But Cornell making the road trip to Princeton and Penn, arguably the hardest road trip of the season, and it is the final road trip for the Big Red. Friday night, Cornell will travel to Princeton to play the Tigers. This was a team that, is one of the best teams in the Ivy League right now, tied for first actually with the lead, slightly over Harvard, but a team that the Big Red played very tough at home a couple of weeks ago, losing only by 2 in the final couple minutes. Yeah. Naturally, it's going to be another very tough game playing, this team in their home court. What is going to have to happen for the Big Red to come away with this tough victory on Friday?
I think it's simple. They got to make shots. Bill Courtney says it every single game. If we make shots, we're going to win after wins. When we ask him what happened, he says we made shots. That's what happened against Dartmouth. They put up 96 points because they made a ridiculous amount of threes. I think 16 in that ballgame. And if they're going to beat Princeton, they got to do the same thing. Last time against Princeton, 3 of 17 from beyond the arc. This time they got to do a better job. The area that they were solid against Princeton was defending the three-point arc. They only allowed Princeton to make 1 deep ball in that game, and I think that's going to be the key. When Brown beat Princeton last Saturday night, they beat them by 10 at Brown. They only allowed Princeton to shoot 4 of 21 from deep. If Cornell can have a similar type effort and themselves make a few shots, I think you're going to see Cornell having a chance to come away with a victory. The other key for this game is going to be the play in the middle, and that's what we say. That's what we say every week, pretty much. They got to make shots and play well in the middle. Last time against Princeton, they had solid performances for both Fagini, who had 7 points, and Mark Curry, who had 10 points and 6 rebounds. If they can get similar performances like that and hold maybe one of the Princeton bigs or a couple of the Princeton bigs in check to some extent, not give up the same 23-point dominant performance that we saw from Kareem Maddox last time, I think you're going to see a chance for Cornell to come away with a very tough victory, and a victory that would do a lot to kind of shake things up in the Ivy League race as they go forward.
Yeah, so one thing that I was going to mention, obviously Princeton losing to Brown this week and had previously been undefeated in the Ivy League. Now they really need to win if they want to make the tournament, because Harvard is playing very well and they're not really showing any signs of letting up. So a huge game for Princeton, as well as Cornell, to keep proving themselves on Friday, and it'll be very, very interesting to see how that plays out. Saturday, they're going to head up to Philly. They're going to play Penn. And this is a team that Cornell beat a couple weeks ago in the thrilling overtime game. We thought that it was over at the buzzer with a putback from Curry. It ended up going into overtime. Cornell still able to win the game. But again, this is a very good Penn team. It's a team that has a lot of talent and clearly is capable of matching up against Cornell and beating them if they play well. At the same time, Cornell's already proven that they can beat Penn. What's going to have to happen for Cornell to sweep the season series from the Quakers?
Yeah, well, taking a step back, I really hope this game is something like the last time Cornell played Penn. Because one thing I will say, that was a phenomenal basketball game to watch. And fans really will get a treat if it is even as half as good as that game. So from a fan's perspective, I'm hoping for something like that.
And they're expecting close to a sellout. It's a big event there at Penn. They have a February kind of senior event month. And this is one of the big events on the list. So it should be close to a sellout. Maybe 6,000 fans could pack the Blush Trip.
Well, Blush Trip, a great venue, one of my favorite road trips in the Ivy League. So I know we're going to have a lot of fun traveling to that game. But you look at Penn, and this is a team that's coming into this game Friday night off of back-to-back wins after losing their previous 4 games. And so this is a team that's going to have a little confidence after struggling a bit. But the key to this game for me is really to speed it up. I'm looking at the tempo. Look at the way Cornell played Dartmouth, and they were pressing a lot, putting a lot of pressure on the ball. And I understand that Penn is a more talented team than Dartmouth. When you look at their roster, and the first time Cornell played Penn, guys Jack Eggleston, Miles Cartwright, and Zach Rosen all played 40-plus minutes. I know that's an overtime game, but that's not an anomaly. Look at their game against Yale last weekend. They didn't have anyone off the bench playing in double-digit minutes. Cartwright, Eggleston, and Rosen all played 36, 37, 38 minutes around that mark. And if you look at Cornell's backcourt, they could throw out guys like Chris Robleski, Miles Asafo-Ajay, Jake Matthews, Johnny Gray. So they have a lot of people that they can put out there to really speed this game up and really get Penn tired. Penn's a team that shoots 46% from the field, so speeding them up, working on tired legs maybe they won't shoot as well. So I'm looking at tempo as a key and really looking at the way they played against Dartmouth as the blueprint for this game.
And you're right, Jake, if Cornell is able to play the way that they did against Dartmouth, have a very good chance to beat Penn and even Princeton as well. Got to remember the Tigers are 10-0 at home this year, so beating them is going to be no easy task. But there you have it. Thanks for checking in this week on the Slope pregame show for the Cornell men's basketball team. This weekend, Friday night at Princeton, Saturday night at Penn. Sam and Jake will be calling both games, and you can also follow us on Twitter at SlopeCU Sports. Thanks for watching, guys.